Okay, so success. I was able to get this off, and now, so this is what it looks like here, and I can access my wheel bearing from behind. So this is my setup here. So before I press these bearings out, I have to press that spindle bushing out, that spindle out. So this wasn't easy. I had to cut some 2x4s to block this up. I have one sitting underneath this part here. There's a bolt there, that bolt head that's sitting underneath there, and this one is sitting underneath these two here. And I'm just using a 1.25" short socket to sit and push that spindle out. So I'm gonna start to come down on this, and then we're gonna see what we get. Alright, so that's loose now. Alright, so that's loose. So I can just go ahead and get that out. Okay, so once this came out, as always, this inner race is still attached. So we need to get this off. So I'm going to deal with this later. Right now, I'm going to focus on trying to finish getting this this out of here. So this wheel bearing, you can see right here. So we have to get this snap ring out first. So let's work on that. All right, so I got my snap ring pliers on there. Let's raise that out just like that. Set that down. And now we can actually push this wheel bearing out through this side. Okay, so now, see, you have to put this thing in all kind of different ways. So because of the style that I have, I was able to get this long part down in here and get it straightened up. And I used some other metal parts to kind of hold them still. And I found a piece that fits perfectly right inside of here to press that out. And that's, when you're a mechanic, you have to keep a lot of scrap metal, especially circular ones, around to help you when it comes to pressing these things out. Of course, you can get a wheel bearing press kit from the store, and that will come with different sizes. You won't be able to use that to get the spindle out, but you will be able to use that to get the you might be able to use that to get the bearing out. But and they also have sizes for you to use to press some of this stuff out. If not, then like I said, keep a lot of scrap metal around. So now I'm able to use this to press this out. Okay, so I had to change it up a little bit. Now that I got those the bearing race out, all of the little balls on the inside fell out. So after cleaning everything up, I was able to reset, and this is what I'm going with here. And I already got it to pop, so all I have to do now is just continue to press this out. You can see it moving. And when this comes out, it's just gonna fall out, and that's fine. All right, so we got the old one out. You can see it right there. And now we have to try to get our new one in. So you can see how I got this out. Once the bearing race came out, I sat this. It's got a little shoulder here. I sat that right down in there. And this shoulder sat right on this shoulder. And I was able to press that out. That's why it's good to keep random scrap metal around. You never know when you might need something. So I sprayed a little bit of penetrating oil down here just to make things easier to go on. And now I'm going to set my, after cleaning this up, set my new bearing right on top here, about as even as I can. And now I'm going to get something to put on the outside of here to press this down. All right, so I decided to use the old wheel bearing since it sits perfectly on the outside of here. And I'm pressing down on, I got the same part I had earlier on top of the bearing, and I'm able to push that down and get this in here. So I'm going to try to get this in as evenly as I can, and I'll be back. Okay, so you can see it going down in there now. You can hear it and you can see it. It's going down pretty even. That's why I like using the old bearings to press it down, because it sits down on there so evenly. So you can see it just pretty much just disappearing right down into the steering knuckle, just as it should. All right, so we got the bearing all the way down, and I put the snap ring back in. So now you can see what that looks like. So our new bearing is installed, and it looks pretty good. All right, so now it's time to deal with this issue of this inner race being stuck on this spindle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my grinder, and very carefully I'm going to cut across from here at an angle, not straight down because the grinder blade won't fit. I'm going to cut down at an angle, so it's going to look something like that. And I'm going to cut until I can get that to split and crack, and then I'll be able to fit a flathead inside there, twist it and break it off. All right, so you can see how I cut that. I didn't hit the spindle at all. And now I can try to get a flathead or chisel in there and a hammer and try to crack that with a chisel. And if not, then I'll cut it down a little more, but eventually it will crack. All right, so you can see how it's moving right there. So it's cracked and broken off. And now it's even spinning. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to mess with this and work it on off. Able to get behind here now and kind of press that off like that. And it's almost there. And just like that, we have it off. And all we had to do was cut a little slash across there like that and crack that open, and it's off. So now we have to get the spindle in here. So I got this set up another funky way as much as I can to get this thing even. Just some sockets and stuff like that, and even a washer to get this thing even. And now I can go ahead and set this on top here. And now I can put something on top of this and start to press this in. All right, so this is it. I got it pressed in, and this is what it looks like. It's spinning and everything is nice and smooth. Only thing left to do now is get this back on the vehicle.